Capricorn, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique, bringing you your September energy forecast. So coming into September, we are in Virgo season, a sister earth sign to you, which means that you're actually in your groove with new projects, with new goals, with new skills and talents coming to the forefront. This is a time for you to kind of compartmentalize, get down to the nitty-gritty details on what it is that you actually want to do from here. There's new ideas coming up. There's new opportunities to kind of add to, advance, or switch up your career in Virgo season. And mostly it's a very good time for you to get a little bit more serious on taking care of yourself. Definitely think about a new exercise routine, a new diet. We have to kind of rewind, recalibrate on what triggered you to kind of lose sight of taking care of yourself over the last couple of months. And we have to get you in a prime state, prepped and ready for your new natal year coming at your birthday. So we have Venus moving into Virgo on September 5th, and this is going to be illuminating your 9th house. Many of my Capricorn friends, of course, are constantly looking to educate themselves, to dive into personal development, to dive into new educational topics and themes. And I feel like because Venus being in Virgo is definitely going to kind of have us focus on, taking care of ourselves a little bit better and returning to those healthy habits and routines that we've gotten away from. This is a prime time for you to take the knowledge, take the wisdom that you've already kind of accumulated, that you probably implemented many times before, and just use it in a different way. Many of my Cap friends are kind of realizing they put on a little bit of weight, that they're not taking care of themselves, that they're not as interested in exercise, that, their diets have gotten a little bit out of control. And it's not like you haven't tried in the past to stay on a healthy routine and a healthy regimen. It's just that y'all take it to extremes, and then it becomes a little bit more of a deprivation scenario, and then you fall off the wagon, and here we are. We gain all the weight back. We're not feeling good about ourselves. And Venus moving into Virgo is definitely going to help ground us in our physical bodies, in our physical form, and get very real with what needs to be kind of implemented again, using your past experiences, the things that you did find work for you, but mostly what didn't work for you, in order to set out a new schedule, a new routine, a new habit for yourself. Now, when Venus moves into Virgo in this 9th house, you're definitely going to have an inclination to kind of jump into a new topic, a new theme, a new interest. Many of my Cap friends are slowly but surely returning to doing the things that they love to do and bringing old skills and habits out of the closet in order to create a new side hustle, a new hobby for themselves, just trying to bring a little bit more happiness and joy back to the physical realm where work, of course, is always dominating. On September 9th, we have Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, going retrograde in Libra. Now, for everyone, this is going to be a little bit of a reflection, a little bit of a revisiting of topics and themes of the past that we thought were kind of ended and closed up, especially where relationships were concerned. But for you, this is going to be illuminating your 10th house. Now, your 10th house is your career. It's where Cap naturally rules over. It is also your finances, your power, your control, your authority. And I feel like many of my Cap friends are, again, kind of growing bored with their current career situation, again, becoming a little bit, I'm going to say, restless with the mundane tasks and chores, the roles and responsibilities in their lives. And again, another prime opportunity to venture out into boosting your education, jumping in something new that, of course, can contribute to the overall goal of bringing in more money, more income. Now, Mercury going retrograde in Libra tends to unearth a lot of people from our past, a lot of projects from the past, a lot of old ideas coming up for a second go. And I would definitely say in this Libran energy, where it also not only rules over relationships, but also rules over contracts and legal proceedings, that we could see some very, very good opportunities really kind of cross your paths here. Maybe re-leveling up to a new position, maybe an increase in your income, getting a raise, or you know what, signing on a dotted line for a new term contract. Something is coming up where I do feel you are going to have the ability to use your skills, your talents, your education in a new way that, of course, will advance you not only up the quote unquote corporate ladder, but also increasing your finances as well. On the 10th, we have the full moon taking place in Pisces energy. Now, full moon in Pisces is definitely a little bit overwhelming where the emotions are concerned. I know you try to stay level-headed and level-grounded, but even this full moon in Pisces is likely going to add to the emotional instability that you are finally realizing you do not have control over. A lot of this is about some of the things that you set out to achieve at the beginning of the year and kind of seeing where it is that you either, were successful in bringing some of these things to life, but mostly where you fell off the wagon, you fell off the path, you got distracted by other things. And this should be a huge reminder to you on what it is that you actually want for yourself, what dream, what vision you're actually working towards. And it should also be a full illumination on where it is that, you have to unlock a new level of creativity in order to actually bring said dream and vision to life. Now, the full moon in Pisces is going to be illuminating your third house, which tends to rule over the mental plane. It rules over information, communication, and how it is that we express ourselves. And this could actually work in your favor, especially if there is a career opportunity presented to you, to kind of wow people with not only the way that you're holding yourself, not only the way that you're communicating yourself, but with artistry, with music. We have the creative forces of Pisces energy being at its fullest potential and being able to kind of bring those ideas, that level of inspiration, that vision into the lower level intellect that the third house rules over, be able to communicate the vision, the dream, the end goal, and, actually translate, I guess, whatever it is that's going on in you and bringing it into the tangible world. If you are someone that dabbles in artistry in one form or another, this can definitely be a beautiful opportunity for your work to get seen by the right people, being in the right place, aligning with the right kinds of community members, like-minded people, to really get that creativity swirling again. Because again, I think work has gotten in the way, roles and responsibilities have gotten in the way, and it kind of snuffed out a lot of the beautiful ideas that my Capricorn friends were hoping to bring into fruition by this point in the calendar. On the 22nd, we have Libra season beginning, kicking off the fall equinox, giving us a beautiful opportunity to balance the scales, to get our heart and head in alignment, to get our life in order. I feel like a lot of my Capricorn friends, again, throw themselves into work, throw themselves into, trying to make certain projects and goals actually be reached. But there's not a whole lot of fun that happens while that is happening. And Libra season highlights the 10th house. So again, another beautiful opportunity to balance the scales between work, between home, between the financial wants, needs, and desires, goals and visions, and what is actually holding you back from doing what it is that you love. Not everything can or should be about money. I do feel that many of my Capricorn friends do a lot, especially in their career, just for the money, for that financial gain, for that prestige, if you will, and many lose sight of what they actually got into their line of work for, which is essentially a passion and a desire. So hopefully Libra season will kind of shine a bright light on where you can balance the scales in work and where you can make a little bit more time to get back to the things that you love. Libra season, although very focused on relationships, does have a huge potential to bring forth a business opportunity with a partnership or with a group of people that, again, has the ability to advance either your income, your goals, your projects, or your roles and responsibilities within the career. But because we do have to kind of understand that Libra season is about balancing the scales, If it is going to take you further away from home, further away from time for happiness, for joy, for pleasure, and taking you away from doing things that you love, it might not be the best idea. Keep in mind that we are in a retrograde, so we do have to do some inner reflection. This is a chance to revise our plans, to rework, to readjust our lives. And for you, because there is a huge and major intense buildup in this 10th house that is all work and no play, it is going to come down to you having to be very real with yourself on what you are valuing at this time, whether that be a little bit more personal freedom and fun and time with the family, or whether you are going to continue to sacrifice those things in order to reach your career goals. On the 23rd, we have Mercury moving back into Virgo energy, into its place of power. This is where things are going to get done, where the problems that you would have encountered over the duration of the month so far will get solved. Whatever kind of situations or opportunities pop off for you, whatever drama kicks off, whatever choices that you're being torn over will be resolved, will be fixed under the Mercury retrograde once it moves back into Virgo energy. Again, this is the 9th house for you. So this is, you revisiting what it is that you learned in school, or you revisiting skills and talents that you haven't used in a while, passion projects, ideas that never really got brought into fruition. There's a lot of reflection, a lot of review, and a redo on what it is that, has potential to be beautiful if you are to give it its own time. Now, Mercury being in Virgo energy, again, the earth energy, the sister earth energy to you, does mean that you do have the ability to manifest, to create, to build, to give birth to something new, especially where those healthy habits and diets and exercise routines are concerned. If you tried to get something off the ground that just didn't work out, the habit, the routine got disrupted at the beginning of the month, you should be able to be a little bit more successful in sticking to that plan once Mercury retrogrades back into Virgo energy. On the 25th, we have the new moon taking place in Libra, giving us a beautiful opportunity to set some really long-term goals for the next 2.5 years, where relationships are concerned, where partnerships are concerned, both in love and in money, in business and in play. It also highlights for us where it is that we do have to work a little bit harder to have time to balance out work, to have enough time to play. We do have to return to the smaller things in life that we do find fun and pleasure into. And because the new moon in Libra is highlighting this 10th house of career for you, you really do have to realize that you've been very extreme in throwing yourself in work and not creating enough time for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for fun, for hobbies, and that it is time to kind of rebalance those scales to make sure that we're resetting the playing field to give you ample time to dive into all of the things that you love, work and money included. And we add to that 10th house energy on the 29th when Venus moves out of this Virgo energy and moves into the Libran energy. Now, granted, Libra energy is a little bit tough for my Capricorn friends because, of course, Libran energy is an air energy, and air is the furthest element away from Earth that Capricorn is. However, Libran energy does kind of show us where it is that we have to balance the scales again, where it is that we have to work on taking care of ourselves, nurturing ourselves, getting ourselves back to a place of health and wellness. It is a time for us to pull away from trying to distract ourselves from relationships, from the social aspect. And, again, my Capricorn friends, you hide in work. You numb through work. And that's great, but, life is a calling. And if you don't make time to rebalance the scales, you're not going to like how the universe sorts you out on that. So with Venus moving into Libra, especially in this 10th house, I do feel like your finances have the ability to really increase. Again, with beautiful opportunities coming at you throughout the month, you should be seeing a little bit of an increase in your bank account by the end of the month. And if you are interested, if you can can pull yourself away from work, from projects, from goals, from tasks, you do have the opportunity this month to make some very heartfelt connections, romantic, friends, like-minded projects. There's all kinds of good vibes coming at you with Venus being in Libra, just glowing, just shining a bright light on your creativity, on your charm when you kind of allow yourself to be in that frame of mind. So you have a lot of career energy coming at you this month, Capricorn. And to be honest with you, you really do have to sit down and contemplate what it is that you want to do from here. I know that you have a lot of ideas, a lot of goals, a lot of projects. I do feel like you will be deciding one over the other, really kind of aligning with what it is that your heart is asking you to do. There's a lot of conflict going on there because, again, there are a lot of the ideas that you have, a lot of the goals that you have are money oriented or constantly based around how much money that could make you. And the tough love life lesson coming at you this month is to get back to doing things that you love, that actually spark passion and desire and happiness and joy and creativity. It doesn't always have to be about money. I do feel that, your home, your family does need a little bit more attention. I feel like you've been a little bit introverted. You've been a little bit isolated. I would say you do need to have to strive for a little bit more balance. There is a huge transitional time happening in your life right now where I feel like you should be waking up to the realization that your life has been kind of out of sorts and living in extremes, and that you are missing out on, some great quality time that you could be pouring into your relationships. And although there is a lot of past pain and trauma coming up, kind of preventing you from engaging and putting yourself out there and opening yourself up to other people again, it is time to kind of make peace with that. Again, we are in, the time in the calendar and in the season where we do have to make peace with our past in order to actually move on. And I do feel that there are certain home situations, family dynamics that need to be sorted out for you to release, for you to make peace with, so that you can actually focus your energy on reconnecting with family members in those relationships that have been pushed to the wayside because of your want, need, and desire to distract yourself through work. And when it comes to work, it is time for you to kind of see where you're going to have to switch things up. I'm not saying there's a total ending coming to your career, but again, my Capricorn friends are growing bored. That's something that happens all too often. And you do have the time, the opportunity this month, especially with new opportunities coming at you, to really choose what it is that you want to do. I know that you're being pulled in an area of interest where you want to kind of re-educate yourself or refresh your skills or dive into a brand new topic and theme altogether. But again, that is just I'm going to say a disguise of work. There is this want, need, and desire for you to, develop and educate yourself. But again, if you're using this as a distraction and as a vice to get yourself away from, connecting with the people in your lives, you do have to be very careful with what it is that you are going to pour your time, energy into. If it's taking you away from work and pouring you into education, there is going to be room needed in education and in this particular work sector for happiness, for joy, for fun, for pleasure, for other people. I know that's hard on the head. I know that's hard on the heart, but you do have to open your mind up. You do have to understand that you are missing a lot of really beautiful opportunities to connect with friends, with family, with the right kinds of like-minded people coming into your world because you have tunnel vision. And I know that tunnel vision is very focused on doing a perfect job and, really doing well at your career and reaching those financial goals. But there is going to be an abrupt shift coming at you to totally change your perspective and understand that you're not going to get this time back. You're not going to get an opportunity to look back on your life and say, you know what, I really should have made more time for my friends and family. Instead, I have a fat ass bank account and everything that I want, but I feel kind of lonely, right? So to leave you with something that you should be thinking about as you navigate through the month of September is just understand where it is that you can't run from your emotions all the time, where you have to get a little bit down to earth, a little bit real with what it is that you are avoiding emotionally, especially within relationships, what you're throwing yourself into work to try to avoid, try to distract. Now, granted, you are going to have some beautiful opportunities to advance your career and to increase your income throughout this month, but I hope that you would also take this indicator as time for you to make the time for connecting with other people. It's great to, want to build a solid foundation and take care of that safety, that security financially in order to take care of other people. But other people would prefer your time, would prefer your presence instead of just your money and your bank account. So you are going to have to kind of shake up your mental plane just a little bit in order to gain a different perspective on what it is that you're actually missing out on when it comes to the happiness, to the joy, and to the love that life is supposed to include and incorporate. So that's all that I have for you this month, Capricorn. I hope you have a beautiful month, and we'll talk to you soon.